Hey there, Harper here, and what the was that ending? Okay, we'll get there. We'll get there. Rewind. We have 4 episodes to go through. So, if you haven't, if you just clicked on this without checking the title or anything like that, this is the last 4 episodes of Move to Heaven, the show that I have been watching that is amazing, that makes you cry, which is why my face looks all puffy right now, and is also apparently just the worst. What the man? my censor is gonna get some work today. Okay. So episode 6 has a couple who took it upon themselves to go out together because both of them are terminally ill and elderly, and then you have to deal with that whole thing. And Uncle is not for it, but there's a caseworker who is someone from Girls' Generation. I did look it up, but I don't remember what her name was. It'll probably just flash on the screen somewhere. And she was super cute, and they kind of hit it off. So I was just kind of like, yes, give him a romance, so that I don't have to worry about him fighting anymore. But no, he's fighting anyway. Also, yeah, show, you got me to care about this dude. Thanks. It worked. It took about 10 episodes to do so, but it worked. Yeah, so that happens. Episode 7 has to deal with Uncle's friend who he almost killed, dying. So that was sad, and you get to learn all about who Uncle was in who Sengu was in his midlife, because the following episode is who he was when he was a small child. So he saved this kid from bullies and then taught him how to box. And then this kid becomes a national medal winning boxer. And then out of the blue, says, no, I don't want to do it anymore, but it's because he's been hit in the head so many times that he's got encephalitis. Is that what it's called? There's water on his brain. So if he gets hit anymore, he could possibly die. So then they go in a fight, and Sengu is just like, who's my opponent? And the rich is like, it doesn't matter, just fight and knock him out in the 7th round. And then you find out that it's his friend, and it's like, well, and they were just like fighting back and forth, trading blows, and it wasn't getting too bad. And then lo and behold, who was in the audience but the dad? And he's mad at him, which we will find out in the following episode, because of abandonment issues, and suddenly is filled with rage, punches his friend in the neck, his head snaps, he lands on a car, onto the ground, his head snaps back, and yeah, he's brain dead, pretty much, after that. And then Sengu goes to jail, and this kid is in a coma forever, and then dies. And that's sad, super sad. Episode 8 is all about Uncle as a child. Abusive father. The dad, his brother, tries to step in every once in a while, and Sengu's dad is like, you're no son of mine, your mom's dead, get out of my house, cretin. And then the following year, his dad dies. So this is a 10-year-old kid, is that what they said? A 10-year-old kid, and the stepbrother is older, like 16, 18 maybe, old enough to have a job. I'm not sure of age requirements over there. He seemed much older. And Jungwoo, the older brother, is is getting a list of wishes from Sangu. And the wishes are to go on all the rides in a theme park, to eat a bunch of food. I think it was chicken, then pizza, then Chinese food, and then to have a pair of Nikes. So in the episode, we follow Giru around as he does all of this because every year him and his dad have been doing all of these things. And then they go to a bus station and make wishes. Well, or train station. They go to a train station and make wishes. And the train station part is that he had told Jungwoo told Sengu to meet him at the train station on his birthday, and they will be together and live happily ever after, as you do. And Jungwoo never showed up. And then I learned some history. Because what had happened was there was a shopping center in Seoul that collapsed in 1995 and killed a lot of people, and that was the background of this episode. So Jungwoo, the older brother, went to go buy some shoes and was in the collapse. So he was in the collapse, and he was in the building for 3 days and then in the hospital for a while, and he was hanging on to a pair of Nikes. And we find this part out because Sengu was looking for the deed to the building because he was going to use it as collateral for something, and finds this locked closet that has pretty much 3/4 of it filled with nothing but Nike shoes because he got a pair every year for his brother. Tears. Yeah. So that's a thing that happened. Also in this cabinet is an adoption certificate for Giru. And you're like, oh, this kid's adopted? Oh, snap. That's a new thing. Wow. So then the next episode, we learn about a different person. And I also learn more history about children from Korea who were given up for adoption, sent to the States, and either not adopted or were adopted, and then their adoption was dismissed due to several reasons. So they have no citizenship anywhere, and they are deported back to their country of origin, but they have no connections in Korea, and that's really sad. So this guy is one of these children who's looking for his parents and has a heart condition and dies. And so they have to clean up his apartment, and they find out that he thought that his mom was a news anchor. She ends up not being. We don't really find out who his mom was, but she worked in a foster home that he was the last fostered kid to be sent out of that home. And so he thought that she was his mom, and she ends up grieving for him, and that makes it okay. Okay, so it was a good episode. We learned a lot about everything. 10th episode. We've got there. So Uncle Sengu is fighting. He has to now because he used the um, deed to the building as collateral to get money for his friend's surgery, but his friend died before he could have surgery, and even though he tried giving the money back, he couldn't get it back because criminal activities. So he has to fight, and he's fighting this dude, this real tall Russian dude. It's not a fair fight, and you are like, yeah, Uncle's gonna die. It's gonna be sad. Everyone's sad. The fight is maybe like 5 minutes of the hour-long episode. Like, nothing. Just Fight begins. He gets cut a couple times on his face. Fight ends. Cops show up. They sneak him out so that he doesn't get arrested. It's all good. But then it comes to the time where the lawyer friend comes along and is all like, Guru, we need your dad's ashes. You can't just keep sitting on them because it's been like 3 months now. And if he wants to be placed near his mom, they have to do it sooner than later, and it's a thing. So Guru runs away because he doesn't want to let go of his dad. The majority of this episode is finding out a little backstory about Guru and his parents, which was weird because immediately before watching this episode, my aunt was telling me a story about somebody who was an adopted child from Korea. And the backstory for that was that she was found in a dumpster. And this episode, Guru was found in a water treatment bin. You see him growing up, you see him and his mom, and you see his mom passing away, and that's sad, and how Guru doesn't quite understand because of his Asperger's, and how that happens. And then at the end, Sengu finds him in Busan. And they find him, they hug it out. Well, they don't. They don't hug it out because Guru doesn't hug. But he does. He hugs a tree because at the end they're doing a memorial service and they have the names written on trees, which is something that I've seen happen. So that's what I want. Anybody listening, I want my name just attached to a tree. This doesn't matter. Name attached to a tree. That's what I want. Guru is walking away and he's commenting to himself and to his dad, who, lives up here and here and here, that he doesn't understand people. And he feels weird about that. So that's like some really cool understanding things, I think. Like, that's cool. Character growth. But, like, he has a little panic moment, runs back to the tree and hugs the tree. And it's just like, I'm fine. I'm not fine. I'm sobbing watching this. And I'm like, this show's almost over, right? Oh my god, I don't know if I can handle any more of this. And quick cut to Uncle sitting in the lawyer's office, and the lawyer is like, "You've had your 3 months. My personal findings are you are not a fit guardian, and I don't think that this should happen anymore." And the uncle, you can tell, is just dead inside now because he's like, "But this is my only kin," and he lies and he's like, "It's fine. I don't want anyways." He gets up to leave. And the lawyer's like, "Excuse me, where do you think you're going? My personal opinion doesn't matter." Guru says, "No, I want him as my guardian." And he's ecstatic. He's jumping around. He's like, "Thank you, blah, 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 blah." Nemu decides to become a full-time employee at the Move to Heaven, which is great because then the two trees can be together. And that's fantastic. And then we have the ending scene where Guru is cleaning out the van or something. Some girl walks up, there's a butterfly flying around, and she's all like, "I'd like to request some service." And he's like, "Okay, I need the name of the deceased and the name of the request." And the girl's like, "The name of the deceased is Unbil, and the requestee is Unbil." And Guru was like, "That doesn't make any sense. Those are the same names." And the camera pans up, and it's just this girl, and there's a butterfly sitting on her head. And she's like, "Yeah, I know. I'm gonna die soon." And then the camera goes back and forth between these two people, and there's like a look on his face, like, this is the most beautiful creature I've ever seen. Except there shouldn't be this look on his face, right? Right? What are they trying to do? Why are you ruining the perfectly good show with this? With this unnecessary weird romance in the last 2 seconds of the show? Oh, I'm fine. Also, sequel bait. Why? This was I mean, I'm gonna watch it. If they come out with Move to Heaven 2, I'm gonna watch it. Of course I am. I like the show. I'll even review it. And however long it's gonna take for them to film more, I'm gonna watch it. It's probably gonna be a mystery of or a thriller of how to keep this girl alive. I don't know. Nemo's gonna get jealous. Same girl. Come on, that's your tree. Anyway, I don't know what else to say here. I really like the show. I really, really like the show, but they flubbed the ending for me, and I don't know how I feel about that. And that's all I gotta say today. Next time I might talk about a different show if I find something else to watch, or I might actually talk about the shows that I said I was going to talk about earlier, the ones from last year, which I probably should. Or, I mean, TXT is going to come up with something new very soon. Butter's going to be out this weekend, and yeah, I got all that going on. So look for those in the future. Stay hydrated. I'll see you next time. Bye.